of the United States.
Hi,
Good morning, everyone.
My name is Christina Trujillo, and I am a counselor at Andrew Hill High School. For my undergrad, I majored in psychology as well, and then I also received my master's in counseling education at San Jose State. Fun fact, as I just mentioned, I am a SJSU alumni.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ms. Chavez. I am a James Lick counselor, James Lick alumni as well. I graduated from UC Santa Cruz and then did my master's at San Jose State. I did history and Latino studies and then education counseling. Fun fact is I don't know how to swim.
All right. So, hi, guys. My name is Ms. Fernandez. I'm a counselor at Independence High School. For my undergrad, I went to UC Santa Cruz, majored in psychology, and then got my master's from San Jose State. Fun fact about me would be that I love to travel. That's one thing, but I'm always on the lookout for like cafes, and I'm into like their decor and like great coffee. So yeah.
Good morning, everyone. This is Thompson Lee. I'm also a school counselor at Independence High School. And I just want to say congratulations to everyone for graduating high school. Fun fact about myself, I like to travel as well. I'm a Santa Teresa alumni, and I majored in communication at UC Davis. And I look forward to working with you all these next couple of days.
Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Bean. I work at Santa Teresa High School. I majored in psychology, and I also have a master's in counseling education. And I graduated from Silver Creek High School.
Good morning, everyone. This is Miss Kevlar. I am a counselor at Silver Creek High School. I received both my bachelor's and my master's at San Jose State. My bachelor's degree was in hospitality, tourism, and event management. And I got my master's in education counseling. And a fun fact about me is I did not start drinking coffee until grad school.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Rosario Cruz. I am a school counselor as well. I work at Overflow High School. And just like many of my colleagues, I also went to San Jose State, although I was a transfer student. So I started at a community college at Gavilan in Gilroy. And I did major in psychology with a minor in anthropology. And my master's in counseling education. I also have a degree in translation and interpretation. Fun fact, I love hiking.
Hello, everyone. This is Miss Liu from Oak Grove High School. I actually I went to the University of Utah, and I majored in elementary education K through 8. And I have my master's in educational counseling. And the fun fact about me is I love biking across the Golden Gate Bridge and through South Toledo and to Tiburon, and then riding the ferry back to Pier 39.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jessica Gonzalez. I'm a school counselor at Mount Pleasant High School. I did my bachelor's, my undergrad and my graduate schooling at San Jose State University. I majored in communication studies in Spanish, and I also received 2 master's degrees from San Jose State in communication studies and counseling education. Fun fact about me is that I love yoga. Yeah, that's it. Look forward to this time with y'all.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lina Vasquez, and I'm a counselor at Yerba Buena High School. I did my undergrad at Long Beach State. I double majored in human development and Chicano studies. And I did my master's at San Jose State as well in counseling. And then fun fact about me, I like to knit.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jennifer Miller-Cody. I'm a counselor at Piedmont Hills High School. Unlike others, I actually received my degrees in the Midwest. I got my undergraduate from University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh. I was a Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education, teaching major in Spanish. And then I got my Master of Educational Psychology in School Counseling from University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. A fun fact about me is that I have 4 wonderful children, 2 boys and 2 girls, who keep me very busy and who you might sometimes hear in the background arguing about video games. And I just really look forward to working with all of you guys this summer and helping transition you into SJSU.
Hello, sorry everyone, I'll be going next. My name is Eric Macias Chavez. I'm the transition coordinator for the Spartan Eastside Promise program. The high school I went to Del Mar High. I actually went to West Valley Community College as well, so I transferred over. And while at SJSU, I was a sociology major, and a fun fact about myself is that I worked at the Chicanx Latinx Student Success Center, so I can maybe answer any questions regarding that. But nice to meet everyone.
Hi everyone, my name is Makai. I also work within the Eastside Promise program as a peer mentor. The high school I went to was in San Francisco, Lowell High School. My current major right now is marketing in the business college, but I'll be working with the engineering students this summer. And a fun fact about me is I'm a freelance photographer.
Hey everyone, my name is Tori. I'm also with the Spartan Eastside Promise team. I went to high school in Sacramento, so I went to Mariloma High School, and I just recently graduated with my BA in Communication Studies from San Jose State. A fun fact about me is I really love to visit like not old towns, but small towns and check out like their little shops and like the community that lives there.
Hi everyone, my name is Jasmine. I'm also a peer mentor at San Jose State University's Spartan Eastside Promise program. I'm a 3rd-year psychology student, but I'll be working with the science majors the summer program. And a fun fact about me is I love to dance, and I also graduated from Silver Creek High School.
Hi guys.
Beatrice, go first.
Sorry. My name is Beatrice Paul, and I went to Overveld High School, and I'm also a peer mentor. And I'm majoring in hospitality, tourism, and event management. And a fun fact about me is I get to travel to South Korea by myself.
Hi everyone, my name is Vincent. I am a 2nd-year student at San Jose State University, majoring in business administration with a concentration in management information systems. I am an alum from Evergreen Valley High School, and a fun fact about me is I enjoy taking pictures.
Hi, my name is Nazarene. I went to Andrew Hill High School. My major currently is marketing. I'm a 2nd-year student. And a fun fact about me is that I really like to eat and try new foods. I also work under the Spartan Eastside Promise program with Amanda Aldama.
Good everybody.
Can you hear me? This is Lori.
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry everyone, I'm having Zoom issues. I'm trying everything. This is Lori Martinson. I'm along with Ben, Lou, and Amanda Adalma. I'm one of the coordinators of the program. I am currently at Santa Teresa High School, as well as the district, and I went to San Jose State for my undergraduate degree and was a liberal arts major or liberal studies major with focus in English, and did my first teaching credential in English at San Jose State.
and then did my master's degree in counseling psychology at John F. Kennedy University, and then came back to San Jose State to do a PPS credential in school counseling. Fun fact about me, I'm also a therapist and a longtime vegan. I'm really excited to be part of this program, and hopefully I can get on the Zoom call any minute. Thanks.
Think that is everybody now. So we have quite a large team here of actually 20 staff members that are excited and, may I say, volunteer to be part of this process, that are volunteering to be here for you, support you through this. So please, any questions that you have throughout this entire process, reach out to us, whether that's through email, through chat, through, a lot of us have, at least for our staff, we have mobile phone numbers that we have just got access to now that we're working remote. So please reach out to us. We will definitely want to make sure that we are here for you through this process, okay? So moving right along. We're going to go ahead and get started and explain how we are going to be here for you. So the first thing I want to talk about is the timeline of this process of not just our program, but really what to expect next when you are coming to San Jose State. So the first things first, our summer program does run from June 1st through June 12th. It is, again, just the Mondays through Fridays. We are not meeting on the weekends. It is only Monday through Friday from, again, at 9 to 10:30 a.m. time slot here. It might be a little less, a little longer, but again, that's our main time that we are here on the Zoom. Now from June, starting as early as June 11th, all the way into the first 2 weeks of August, we do have Spartan Camp orientation. So depending on which one you signed up for at nextsteps.sjsu.edu, that is the one that you're gonna log into and attend, virtually attend that day to meet with your academic advisor, to actually finalize your schedule, finalize which classes that you are gonna be enrolled in for the fall semester, as well as learn a ton about San Jose State and how to connect and how to just really get started for the fall, like the step 2 of this process. Now, sometime in July, we're also going to have a check-in as well because, you know, as I said, we are going to be here for you through this entire process. So definitely stay tuned for that to see when that will be. Also in August, we are going to have a virtual event as well called our second annual Welcome Eastside Spartans event to make sure that, you know, everything is ready for the fall. Now that you've finished your orientation, now that you're registered in your classes, make sure that all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, that you are ready to start your first semester at San Jose State. Now classes start August 19th, and this is, I say take with a grain of salt because not all classes start on August 19th. What I mean by this is the way that our classes run, typically they are offered twice a week or once a week. So for example, instead of having your US history class every day, Monday through Friday, 7th period, you would have maybe your US history class Mondays and Wednesdays from 10:30 to 11:45 a.m. Or you would have your English class from 3 to 5:45 p.m. only on Tuesdays. It's really going to depend based off of which classes you select at your orientation. The other thing to keep in mind is that because most of our, not all, but most of our classes will be offered online for this semester to provide the safest possible environment for our students. What that will mean is some of them are going to be meeting on one day and then have self-paced sessions the next day to be able to have you really manage that work. It's not all classes are going to be just a little bit different, but your instructor is going to go through that process with you, lay out all the expectations, all of the guidelines, all the resources to help you through that process, which you'll learn about a lot more at orientation, very specific to your college. Every college in San Jose State runs just a little bit differently, so you want to make sure that you do attend that orientation. It is mandatory to retain your admission, and that way you have the most up-to-date information for your college and your start at San Jose State. So that being said, some classes will start on August 19th, but some of them will start on the 20th. Depending on when what start date your classes are, that's when you start. So definitely make sure that you pay a lot of attention during your orientation to see when your start date is. Now, we're gonna let some time go by, let you adjust, all those things. Of course, we'll still be here, but around mid-August, roughly that week of the 20th, we're gonna have an enrollment workshop because very different from when you're in your orientation. When your orientation, and even in this program, we're here to be able to sit down with you and start to think about that educational plan. So start to lay out what classes you're gonna take for your first semester, your second semester, and so forth. But that's for university-wide, that's usually just during orientation. This program is separate, offered for our Eastside students. Now that being said, with your spring semester that comes up, it's usually just you get an appointment date on your SJSU, and then you go into the system and enroll in your classes at that point with no assistance. You have the date, you have the time, you go in, you do your thing. Now, because as you can see, there's quite a bit of time from June to October, so especially if you've only done this once, sometimes students forget like what that next step is and how to navigate that system. So mid-October, we're gonna have an online workshop to walk you through those steps, revisit this, and go through those e-advising tools that you're gonna be introduced later on during the program, and see how to go through that process again, get that support. Even, especially if you are thinking about switching your major, we do have some workshops as well on what that process will be like to change your major from, you know, undeclared to declaring a major, or if you started as business and you're like, you know what, I actually want graphic design, seeing what that will be like and what steps you would need to take. Now, after that, around mid-October, you get to enroll for your spring courses. As I said, on your SJSU, you get a very specific date and time when to enroll for spring. So definitely want to make sure you check your SJSU account continually. If you haven't already started to get in that habit, you want to definitely do so. SJSU is something you're going to use throughout your entire time here at San Jose State University. In December, we want to make sure that we celebrate your accomplishments and also have that time to provide you with more resources. That's our main thing during our finals pit stop. So check that out. And your last day of fall, December 7th. That is the fall semester from the summer starting all the way to December. Generally what to expect. Now, as you'll see, there's some things here that are highlighted in blue. The text color is blue. The reason for this is exclusive programming for Eastside Union High School District students. This is not open to San Jose High or you know, Fremont High, or this is exclusive and dedicated to our local students. We want to make sure that you have the support that you need to make this transition to San Jose State. So all of this is here for you. It's free, so take advantage of it. Moving right along. The big picture, what does this all mean? Well, our Spartan Eastside Promise program is dedicated to supporting our Eastside Union High School District students. We want to make sure that you have the resources and support to navigate the university. Speaking just for myself, I was a first-generation college student, so no one in my family had went to college yet, and I had no idea what to do, where to go, who to ask. It's a process. Sometimes it is a process, and we want to make sure that that process is as smooth as possible for you, that you know who to go to, who to ask what questions of, what the deadlines are, what steps you need to take for X, Y, and Z, that you are ready. The other thing I'm incredibly proud to say, being, you know, not just part of this program, but being from San Jose State and from Eastside myself, is that the Spartan Eastside Promise program, this partnership that we have with the Eastside Union High School District and our community organizations, it is incredibly unique. We are the only CSU that has a program of this kind, and it's exclusive, again, for our Eastside Union High School District students. So I mentioned SJSU a lot. I mentioned a couple of things, next steps, and so forth. If you haven't already gotten familiar with this website, one.sjsu.edu, please do so. You are going to use this for everything, and I mean everything. You have your My SJSU account here where you get messages from the university. You have your to-do list items. You have, excuse me, you have information on financial aid, your grades, pretty much everything that has to deal with your student account. You have some courses here called LinkedIn Learning, where if you want to develop professionally a skill to help with, job seeking later on, that's a great place to start as well. You have Canvas here, which is going to be incredibly important as it'll be utilized for the majority of our online courses. And then you have something here called My Email, so your SJSU email offered through the Gmail suite. If you have not already accessed and activated that, you are going to want to do that to be able to access the remaining of the program, because everything that goes along with this program is accessible through your SJSU email. So again, what you're going to want to do is go to one.sjsu.edu, click on the My Email, that Gmail there, and activate that if you have not already done so. Now, typically your email, just for your reference, is usually your first name dot your last name at sjsu.edu, but sometimes it does vary just a little bit, so you want to make sure that you log in and you have access to that. The other great thing that I personally loved as a student at San Jose State was that you have access to, Google Slides, Google Calendar, all of these, the Google Suite, and there is unlimited savings there. That you have a mass amount of storage to be able to save your coursework, pictures, whatever that is that you have that you're saving there. It is really great. I really enjoyed that as a student. So definitely something to look forward to and take advantage of as you move forward. All right. So this program, what does this look like as we go through the next 2 weeks together? First, we want to talk about accessing all of these resources. Again, we are here from the 1st through the 12th, Monday through Fridays only, from 9 to 10:30, mainly through Zoom and Google Classroom. So some of you might have accessed today's course by activating your Google Classroom link. All of you should have received an email last night. You will receive a follow-up one today just to make sure everyone has the link. With Google Classroom, this is going to be the hub. This is going to have every single thing that relates to this course, the Zoom links for each day, the assignments that are coming up, as well as resource materials for you to be able to get this information and process it yourself, to be able to explore yourself more based off of your own interests. So Google Classroom, you are going to need to be able to connect to that, and you will log in through your SJSU email. More on that in a moment. The second component of this is homework. Now, before you're like, no, I don't want homework, it's summertime. This is fun homework. So each day is going to have a self-paced module where it's either an online game or a video prompt that you will be able to answer through a resource called Flipgrid. Now we have two different ones here, Flipgrid and Nearpod. Nearpod, again, everything is going to be through that Google Classroom, so there's no additional, I got to remember this, it's all through that Google Classroom. So it's, again, that hub for you to be able to access everything through there. So you want to access that. Now, what Flipgrid does, I think of it like the Instagram for our class. It allows you to be able to create videos, share videos, build community as well. The biggest thing we want to make sure, especially since we are remote right now, is that you have that opportunity to build community with your fellow students, with your advisors, with your instructors, with having your own voice be heard, be able to express yourself, your concerns, the things you're excited about as well. And both of these resources will allow us to do that and get to know each other a lot better. So going along just a little bit more here, each day is also going to have those assignments, those video topics that allow you to connect. So check that out. And lastly, the third part of this program is evaluations. Evaluations will be available each day through that Google Classroom. It is a Google Form survey. Today's is just a little bit longer because we want to make sure that we match you with the correct special interest session. Talk about that in a moment as well. So each day does have that evaluation, and the reason for this program is for you. This program is here to support your journey to San Jose State, through college, through your next step in your educational goal, your career goals. So we want to make sure that it is supporting and providing you with what you need. So this is your opportunity to tell us, you know, what's working, what isn't working, what type of support do you need, and how can we provide that for you? Or, you know, what questions do you have that we can be able to connect you with a certain resource that can help you if we are unable to do so. As most of, you know, and most of fall will be online, we want to make sure that the program we develop for the remainder of the summer and for fall supports you, that it's not something that isn't going to be useful, you know, that it's something that is going to be able to be fun and engaging, but be useful to you. That's the main thing we want to make sure. So again, those three components are going to be key to this program moving forward. So Google Classroom. Again, some of you might have been able to access today's Zoom link through the Google Classroom. An invite was sent to your SJSU email. We're going to resend it again after today's course to make sure everyone does have that. So the way that you log into Google Classroom is first you have two options really. One is if you're already in your SJSU email, you're checking that, you've got the email, you click go and it takes you straight there. The other way is if you're logged in but not into your email, just into your SJSU account, you can open up the Google Classroom app, enter in the code, and then it's going to ask you to sign in using your SJSU email. So those are the two ways that you can access that, but you are going to need to do so as this is the hub for every single piece of this program. Now there are several components here that you're going to see or you might have seen already. The first being getting started and support resources. There's a couple things in there right now. We're going to continually drop stuff in there for you as things come up, as interests come up, as questions come up. So if there's something that maybe you're stuck on or you have more interest in, or maybe we didn't explain fully right and you need a little bit more help, stuff will be dropped in there for you to be able to access and learn more about. So the things that are in there right now is how to use Google Classroom, so you can kind of see that tutorial there, how to use Flipgrid, which I'll talk about in a moment, those videos, as well as that quick reference guide of what the layout of our program looks like. Each course has a very specific date on there as well with a Start Here feature. So there's the evaluations there and then the Share With Us. The Share With Us is going to be our Flipgrid here. So to go over this part actually real quick, there's a couple things you're going to see in terms of stream, classwork, people, and grades. Stream, I like to think about it like when you're on Facebook, how it's like your news feed. Classwork, that's the main area you're going to want to be in. Now under that, you'll see there's Meet, there's Google Calendar, and there's a class drive folder. With Meet, it allows you to meet via Google Hangouts with pretty much anyone in the class. So if you have a question for one of us or you know, you're talking to some of your fellow students, that's a great way to connect. Google Calendar, you want to make sure that you save that calendar to your calendar, that you have access to that, because we're going to be posting a lot there. We're going to be posting deadlines that come up, so it'll be able to remind you. The programming that I mentioned earlier on, like our workshops on enrollment and our finals pit stop, that will be posted there as well. That way you can remember, join us for those days. And then that class drive folder. Everything that we have, all of these handouts, resources, materials will be in that folder for you to access. So just to continue on forward here, when you're first signing on, again, it's recommended that you go to your SJSU email, click that link and go forward. Alternatively, if you are logged in and you can click, you know, the plus sign and click join class, and then you would enter in the code that's listed here. This is going to be shared information. We will send a follow-up email after this session today to make sure everyone is on the same page, everyone is ready for that next step, the remainder of the program. But it's important that you log in with your SJSU email, because if not, you're going to get this error message that says the code isn't valid. So again, SJSU email is incredibly important. So your first class, you're going to want to go to June 1st if you haven't already. You're always going to want to start with the Start Here. The Start Here is a Zoom link for each day, each session. So that will become available to you on the day that it's available. You will have to register each time. The reason for this is we are also tracking attendance. Now, the reason for that is, one, we want to make sure that you are connecting to these resources, but two, there's some prizes. There's some cool stuff we want to give you, want to give away, want to make sure that you have your Spartan swag for the start of your first semester at San Jose State. So the more classes that you participate in, especially if you participate in all of them, you're setting yourself up for potentially some good stuff. So make sure that you do register for each of those Zooms. Now, as you'll see here, again, start here. You're going to see a share with us feature. So that share with us will take you to the Flipgrid website that will allow you to create your video and share your response with us about whatever topic of that day that we have there. The evaluation will be listed there as well. Again, we want to hear from you. We want to know how to continually improve this program for you and get you ready for that next step. Have you feel supported through this process. Now, some of these are also going to have a homework section, so you want to make sure that you keep an eye out for that as well. There's going to be something different every day. To review the content that was presented that day, to maybe expand on something we couldn't fit in that day's session that we really want to make sure that you are aware of, that you know of. So definitely check those out. And again, the way that when you click on them is when you can see it, but it has a little thing here that says view materials, and that allows you to view the full content and even leave comments as well. So like if maybe a link isn't working or you have a question on a specific assignment, leave a comment there for us and we'll be able to get back to you. Okay. The other thing I want to make sure, I did say if you don't have any questions, please feel free to use that chat feature. The way you access chat, if for those of you who might not be familiar with Zoom, is on your little menu bar at the top or bottom, depending where you saved it. There's 3 little dots that say more, and then there's a button or a toggle there that says chat. So if you have any questions that come up or you want me to kind of slow down, go faster, revisit something, definitely put it in there and we'll be able to address that for you. Okay, moving right along. So Flipgrid. Flipgrid is, again, this our own kind of like personal Instagram where we're going to have different topics every day that you can be able to participate in. So you can access this through the Google Classroom, or you go to the website flipgrid.com/ESUHSD SJSU 20. So Eastside Union High School District, SJSU 20. You're going to log in using your SJSU email address. That's going to be, again, that SJSU email is incredibly important to be able to Awesome, thank you. So already helping each other, awesome. Mo. So you're gonna use that SJSU email to log in there. Now, as I said, new topics are gonna be posted every day, and you can choose which ones you wanna respond to. You can respond to as many as you like, but we are gonna ask that you respond to a minimum of 1 per week for a 2-week program. So that is a minimum of 2 videos. We want to see you, we want to hear your voice, hear what you have to say, and get to know you. So again, you could respond to all of them if you like. That's awesome. We definitely want to hear what you have to say, but a minimum of 2 videos that you're sharing, 1 per week. So keep that in mind. What it will look like is something like this, where you're going to see that landing page of the summer program, and then you're going to go to that particular day. Now, maybe, at that moment you're like, oh, I want to respond to this, but not right now. I'll respond to it tomorrow. That's okay. With Flipgrid, that is okay. You can be able to go back in the next day and respond to that and meet that requirement there. When you click on the topics, it'll show you what that topic of that day is. So for today's topic, we have 2 that you can choose from. One is, what's something that you're excited about for college? What is something you're looking forward to with this next step in your educational journey? And then our second question is, what are you most excited about taking the Growth Pledge, and how would you like to work with the Spartan Eastside Promise program to achieve your goals? So this is something I haven't talked about yet, but our Growth Pledge is something that we want to work with you on. What the Growth Pledge is, it's this opportunity to create an action plan for yourself for the fall and the academic year. So beyond just, okay, I got to take this class, I got to make sure I log in on this day, but what are your goals? Because going to college, it's a lot more than just, going to your classes, doing your assignments. It's really this opportunity to learn more about yourself, to grow personally, grow professionally, get connected to resources and opportunities that can lead to so many doors being open for you. And some of the ways to do that to really explore that is start to set goals for yourself. Start to explore, what is it that you want to get out of this college experience? What is it that you are looking forward to doing next? What is it that you want to get out of your degree? All of these different components that come with college. So what our Growth Pledge does is we take that time with you, and we have time in this program where we say, okay, what are some of your academic goals? Maybe something like, oh, I want to be a full-time student, or I want to switch my major to computer science, or whatever that might be. And then we say, well, what are some of your professional goals? Maybe it's something like, I want to get a job after I graduate. I want to, find an internship before I graduate. What are some of your personal goals? You want to be part of a club. Maybe I want to start a club. Maybe I want to make a difference on campus. So many different things that you all have various interests, various, things that you can explore, that you want to bring to the table. We want to make sure that we have that time for you to have that unique reflection for yourself, that it's not just this cookie cutter experience of like, this is what this is how you do this, but making it personal for you. That is something we want to make sure we have in this program. So what that Growth Pledge does, we sit down, we talk about that, and then we start to formulate those SMART goals around that. We start to help you create a plan, put this plan into action, and our Spartan ESI Promise team checks in with you throughout the academic year to see, how are you progressing towards your goals? What resources and support do you need to meet those goals? Maybe have you changed your goals? Are you reassessing based off of a class that you took or an experience you had? And maybe you had you thought you wanted this major, but you took a class for general education, and now your path is completely different. You know exactly what you want. Anything can happen. We want to make sure that we are with you through that process. So that's something that we're going to be able to work through this program to get you to that next step. Again, Flipgrid, the best way to access that is through the Google Classroom, but you can also go to that website again at flipgrid.com/Eastside Union High School District SJSU20, log in with the code Eastside Union High School District SJSU20, and then you click that green plus for sharing. So let's learn a little bit more about Flipgrid.
Join our class Flipgrid by entering the code from your teacher in the free iOS or Android app. Or enter the code at flipgrid.com on any web browser. You'll be asked to join our class Flipgrid by entering the code from your teacher in the free iOS or Android app. Or enter the code at flipgrid.com on any web browser. You'll be asked to log in with your school email address or student ID from your teacher. Now that you're in, let's tap that green plus to record a video. In Flipgrid, you can pause your video to record multiple segments, add filters, turn on whiteboard mode, and more. Once you're done, you can review and edit your video or record more. When you're ready, click submit to share your video to the grid, and that's it. Your video is on the grid.
Okay, so sorry about that. I had a little bit technical issues there with the internet, but Flipgrid again. Quick, easy way, you log in, you click the green plus sign, you record your video, you could use emojis, you could draw on the screen, a lot of different cool features that you could do there. You take a selfie, post it, you're good to go. So there's a lot of things that go along with this program. And I know some might feel like, that's a lot, you take that time to process, you just finished, you want to make sure that you have that time to really take it all in. And maybe you're thinking, this is a lot, this is 10 days, the whys, right? Completing the program does have its perks. One, by the end of this program, in addition to connecting with our counselors, connecting with academic advisors, multiple campus resources, you're also going to connect with the Spartan Eastside Promise peer mentors. As our mentors did introduce themselves earlier, but you're going to have that chance to be able to have that direct person to go to for those questions that you have, that go to check in with, to, you know, be able to, again, just have that connection. As I mentioned, you're going to engage with multiple campus resources. So our program, it's not just going to be me talking. It's not just going to be, you know, our team here of 20 talking. We are going to bring in, or we are bringing in, multiple campus departments. Everyone from our College Student Success Center advisors, those academic advisors that are actually going to be with you during your orientation. So this is one of the, like, my favorite parts of the program, because what this does, or what we are able to provide you with, is an opportunity to connect with your academic advisor before your orientation. So you get that help in creating your schedule before you actually have to do it. Not available to a lot of students. The other great thing about this is you're connecting with not just those academic advisors, but also our cultural centers, our student support services, like our, you know, our writing center, Associated Students, and so many more. And each of these have different special interest sessions. So throughout our program, each day has a different theme. I think I might have mentioned this already, but each day has a different theme. We want to make sure that, well, one, there's a lot to cover. There's a lot we want to make sure that you are ready for in this next step. So for today, today's our getting started day. And this video, this recording will be accessible to you. We're going to email it out for the first day, but moving forward, everything will be in Google Classroom. So today you will get an email, but moving forward, everything will be in Google Classroom. So make sure that if you're having any trouble accessing that, please email us, let us know so we can help you through that process. But, excuse me, one moment. So each day, going back to those themes, right? Today's about getting started, how to get connected to each of these resources. Tomorrow, we're gonna hear from our Academic Advising and Retention Services Office, all about general education classes, our e-advising tools such as My Scheduler that allows you to do something that they did not have back in my day. Back in my day when we had to create a schedule, we had to physically write out plan A, plan B, figure out what classes we want. It's not like high school where your counselors created your schedule for you. That is all on you now. But now we have this resource called My Scheduler where you use what we have called a degree roadmap. We also didn't have that when I was a student, but it lays out everything that you need for those classes, the order that those classes are recommended to be taken by your department, and then you enter that, and it provides you between 1 and 100 possible schedules. Pretty cool. So we're going to hear all about those tomorrow from our Academic Advising Retention Services Office. They're going to go over the difference between GE and major courses. They're going to talk about how some of those can overlap, how you can add a minor, what that changing major looks like, all that good stuff. The next day, you're going to hear from your College Student Success Center. So our engineering folks will hear from College of Engineering, College of Science will hear from Science, Education, and so forth, directly from those departments to hear what's next, to hear all about their services. And these will be recorded, so it'll allow you, those of you who, you know, maybe you were admitted as one major, but you're thinking about switching, to go into Google Classroom and see those recordings and get that information for the majors that you're thinking of switching to. So again, those connections. Our fourth day, what does that look like? Well, these are our special interest sessions with various departments that you get to choose which session you want to be a part of. You get to choose which session you want to view, that you want to engage with, that you want to learn more about the campus resource. Day 5, we're going to talk about professional development because, again, not just about the academics. Huge, it's important, you're in college, but this is for your other areas of growth as well. So professional development day, we're going to talk about that. Week 2, what's course 6 look like? Course 6 and 7 are fairly similar. Some of our advisors are coming back with us again. Some of us aren't able to because they're prepping for orientation, but half of them are coming back with us, and other advisors from our Academic Advising Retention Services, our counselors are here to go into breakout rooms with you and be able to say, okay, we talked about the difference of these classes. We showed you your degree roadmap, what classes you need to take. Now let's take that time to start to create your schedule, to start to actually utilize these resources, play around with them and figure out how to create that schedule for yourself. Course 8, what does that look like the next day? Well, we are going to get ready for Sparta Camp. We are going to get ready for that orientation session. We're going to have our new Student and Family Programs office with us. And what better way to get our students and our families prepared than having our families join us for this session. So on Course 8, make sure that your family support group, whoever it is that supports you, is part of that, because we're going to have some activities for them to join in as well. Course 9 and 10, we're going to have, we're going to be joined by our counseling and psychological services office to talk about, some important tips on mindfulness and time management and stress relief and all these things to, just help you get ready. And that last course on Course 12 is all about Spartan support. Seeing what else that you need to get ready for. We're going to talk about academic support. So we're going to be joined by our academic preparations office to be able to help with determining, okay, if you got an early start requirement, which English or math class should you sign up for at your orientation? Or if you have or recommended to sign up for a support class, what does that mean? Each day is different. So you want to make sure you're participating to get the full experience. It's an opportunity to meet with these folks way in advance of your orientation, begin that plan for yourself, access exclusive, again, this is just for our Eastside students, and we have some prizes at the end. So quite a few perks to be able to participate here. Now what the expectations look like moving forward is, we would love to see your faces. We would love to get to know you. So if, it'd be cool if your cameras are on, but I understand if you do not want to do that. But I would ask that instead of just your name, that maybe you have a picture of yourself. That way we can start to get to know you as well. You can, of course, get to know us. However, for Course 3, 6, and 7, we will ask that your cameras be on if you do have camera on capability. It's the other thing, if you do have that ability to be able to do so, please have those on, as we want to make sure you can directly engage with our academic advisors, as they are going to provide that, that time for you. Talked about it before, but ask questions. I see there's quite a few questions in our chat. I will get to those in just a moment, but make sure that you do ask those questions. We are going to have breakout rooms too, where you're going to have that opportunity to ask questions, using your mic, be able to engage with one another through there, and that you participate. Participation is huge here as well. So making sure that you have your families or support groups join us for Course 8, that for Course 9 and 10, and this is important, Course 9 and 10, as this is June 11th and 12th, and some of you have signed up for orientation that day. If you have orientation, go to your orientation. Orientation is mandatory. So if you do, I will just say this one more time. If you miss your orientation, you are forfeiting your admission at San Jose State. So you want to make sure that you attend orientation. We'll provide you a self-paced module later on so you can complete the program. But June 11th and June 12th is going to be, if you have orientation, go to that orientation. Some other deadlines just to remind you all of. Today is the intent to enroll deadline, June 1st. So if you have not already submitted your intent to enroll and said yes to San Jose State, chose that orientation date, and paid that $100 fee, today is the last day to do that. If your friends are still like, oh, I don't know, today's the last day. If they're having any difficulty, if you're having any difficulty, please email me directly. You all should have received an email from me last night, amanda.aldama@sjsu.edu. I'll, again, send you another email later today once we're done here. But if there's any difficulties, please email me today so we can be able to help you through that process. Talked about it already, but you must attend your Sparta Camp orientation. The link will be sent to you via Zoom or via my SJSU for the Zoom. It is a 2-day orientation. You're not going to be on the computer 48 hours. It is roughly from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, if you don't log into your orientation, you're giving up your space at San Jose State for fall. So make sure that you do attend. My SJSU, this is where you find a lot of that information to check your messages, your to-do list items. Please do make sure that you take some time today, tomorrow, to see that you have completed all of your to-do list items, such as any financial aid verification documents, any parent or student signatures, any transcripts that you might have to send in, especially now that you have finished with all your high school coursework, making sure that you talk with your registrar's office, your counselors, whatever that process is for your school, to be able to, excuse me, send your final transcript to us. If you took community college courses or AP exams previously, send us those as well. We want to make sure we have everything possible so your file is complete. Mentioned orientation earlier. One thing I forgot to mention is that their website, sjsu.edu/New Spartans, has the most up-to-date information about orientation. So if you have more questions on Spartan Link or what that day is going to look like, definitely check them out, see what that will look like for you here, okay? So before we get into the next section here, I want to address a couple of these questions here. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So thank you all for helping each other out. I will say that is awesome to see you all helping each other out with that Google Classroom. Again, you should have been emailed a link to your SJSU email. You will get a follow-up email today to make sure that everyone has that. For Flipgrid, if you, you have the webcam on your laptop or the camera on your phone, that's the other great thing. All these different apps, they are also phone apps as well, because we want to make sure it's as accessible as possible to you through this process. That, maybe if you have a laptop but you don't have a webcam, you can be able to access Flipgrid, Nearpod, all those things through your phone as well. So you will need a camera for that. If not, if maybe you're a little shy, you don't want to be on camera, you can always put like the emoji up and just do your voice recording. That's totally fine as well. Just make sure you participate. We want to hear from you. We want to get to know you. Question here, how do we know if the intent to enroll is complete? Great question. So it's always great to double check. You'll go to nextsteps.sjsu.edu. So again, nextsteps.sjsu.edu. It should have a check mark there, step 1, 2, and 3. If not, then you do have one step left to complete. If you're having any difficulties with that, please email me today, and not like at 11:59, preferably before 4 p.m., so we could be able to help you with this process. Final transcripts are due by July 15th. So we will need your high school transcripts by July 15th. If you took any community college courses by July 15th, and your AP exams, if you just took some in May, as soon as those are available, send it to us. If you took some last year, sophomore year, send us those as of now. That way we could start to add those to your file. Okay. If your intent to enroll is complete, it shouldn't be on your to-do list anymore. That is correct. Thank you so much. Should we send AP scores at different times or all at the same time? Well, that is a great question. So I'd say if you have scores that are already there, go ahead and send them so we could start to add them. But if it is a financial concern to be able to send all those scores at one time, if that works better for you, then send them all at once. Yep, July 15th. Thank you so much. And yes, that is correct. You would get an email receipt that says, that the process is complete. It will no longer be on your My SJSU to-do list, the next steps. So checking that out. And how do we send AP scores? So great question. I'm going to open this up. Do any of our counselors want to share how you would send AP scores?
So you would have to log into your College Board account and go to My AP Scores, and then you request your scores to be sent to the schools. Does that make sense? So go to your My AP account under your College Board account.
Thank you so much, Ben, for sharing. Yeah, so going to that College Board and being able to send us those scores, you'll want to put in San Jose State, send it to us, and we can add those to your account. When is the Zoom link for orientation? Great question. So I don't have an exact date for you on when that link for orientation will be sent out. I know they are working hard on that and preparing that for you. So just continually to check your SJSU account. That's the best thing I can tell you right now is continue to check that SJSU where it says view my messages, and those official messages from that department will be sent there. So definitely check that out to be able to see, excuse me, what is next for you on that stage. Great questions, everyone. And again, so awesome that you're all helping each other out as well. Okay, so we are going to have our next few minutes to play a game here. So we're actually going to do this through the chat rather than the pop-up poll here. But our game is called Fact or Fiction. And I'm going to read a series of statements. You're going to see them on your screen. And you will write in the chat if you think this is a factual statement, or actually, we'll do this here. One moment. Okay. Anyway, so you will, sorry about that, a little technical difficulty here with my screen. So you will say if you believe this statement is a fact or if it is fiction. Everybody ready? You can always use the thumbs up feature as well. Alrighty, so our first statement here, fact or fiction. The library offers late night tutoring services provided by a student from your college or a librarian specializing in your major. Is this fact or is this fiction? In 3, in 2, in 1. It is a fact. So the great thing about our library, it's not just 8 floors of books. There is so many resources the library offers, both in person and remotely. Everything from access to articles, to online books, to this late night tutoring from either a student or a librarian specializing in your college and your major that, you know, I will say that definitely helped me when I was a student and trying to figure out, you know, how to research on topics that I had no idea where to begin. There's so many other resources there as well in terms of, you know, exploring other areas of interest, such as, you know, music recording, as 3D printing, as learning how to use tools such as like the Google Suite or Adobe CS, a lot of different softwares and sessions that are available. So definitely check out our library. It's pretty awesome. Fact or fiction, so once it does open again, our Recreation and Aquatic Center is free with your student ID. And going in 3, in 2, and 1. This is a fact. So our Recreation Aquatic Center, we want to make sure that we provide the safest possible environment for our students. So to the degree that this will be open is still being determined to see what is going to be safest for our students, as we do offer PE classes, kinesiology classes, that some of them happen in that building, others happen in our Spartan complex, another exercise area, if you will, on campus. So that being said, depending on how open it is, whether you're in that class or not, it'll be free. But there's a lot of great stuff that offers there. There is 2 Olympic-sized pools, an indoor rock climbing wall, really great things. So once we have more information about what those hours are going to look like, what it's going to be available to you, you'll definitely get an email about that. So fact or fiction, are all classes for fall will be online. Awesome, you all have been reading your emails. This is fiction. So roughly about 70% of our classes are being offered online. So think of this like lecture classes or, those smaller in-person classes. Now, we are going to have some classes that are going to be in person, such as theater classes, performance classes, music classes, some television, radio, film, some labs for our science and engineering folks. So those, again, will be offered at a much smaller class size capacity because we want to keep in line with the social distancing guidelines. We want to make sure that you are in a safe environment, that you are able to experience, that college experience, get that hands-on experience that San Jose State and the CSU prides ourselves on. So not all of our classes will be online, but you'll want to make sure that when you go to your orientation and you're registering, you take note to see which classes are online and which classes are in person. Fact or fiction, all students have a specific assigned counselor. What does everybody think? Okay, we got some mixed responses here. Some say fact, some say fiction. This is actually fiction. So let me provide some clarity here. Every college within San Jose State has a college student success center that has a team of advisors. But those advisors, they're not necessarily assigned to students. They're either assigned to a specific major in that college or students with that are concentrated in a specific area. But it's not necessarily that you have an exact counselor. That being said, this is where it's incredibly important and vital that you're taking part in resources like this program, that you pay attention during your orientation online, because those advisors, while they're not just your advisors, they're the ones that you're going to have to make sure that if you have questions of, you take that initiative to make an appointment with them or someone on their team, that you ask those questions because they are available. They have those hours, whether it's an appointment or drop-in or an online workshop that you can get your questions answered without having to do an appointment. But definitely make sure that you are taking advantage of those resources. Fact or fiction, students attend the same class every day. Kind of talked about this a little bit already. It is fiction. Everyone's coming in quick. That is fiction. So, that being said, some of our classes are twice a week, some of them are once a week, and especially with us being remote for most of the fall, some of them might be meeting just once a week, and then the next day you're doing something self-paced on your own through Canvas, through one SJSU. So definitely pay attention to your orientation. Pay attention to that first session of your class to see what that structure is going to be like and how that instructor has designed this class to support you. The great thing that I say that I really enjoy about San Jose State is we are always trying to innovate. We're always trying to improve ourselves to offer the best possible services to our students. So one of the things that we're doing over the summer is all of our faculty are going through a mandatory training of an online academy to help develop their program, develop their courses to be as engaging, as informative and useful as possible in this online format. So they're going to class to help you get ready for class. Fact or fiction, Spartan camp orientation is mandatory. Should be a quick one here. Yeah, it is mandatory. That was really quick, everyone coming in. Fact, you have to attend your orientation, 100%. Alrighty. Fact or fiction, each instructor has a different title you must address them by other than teacher. Got some mixed responses here. So this is actually a fact. Some of your teachers, or rather in college, your teachers are called professors. And even then, some of them are assistant professors or lecturers or doctors. And you definitely want to make sure that you are calling them by the correct way. And they will say that the first day of class, it'll be on their syllabus as well. They'll say either, you can call me Dr. Nguyen, you can call me Tammy, you can call me, I've had some professors that were like, just call me by my first name, which is so weird. I will say it was like a little bit weird at first, but you want to be respectful and address them in the way that they ask to be addressed. So definitely make sure you pay attention and take note of that. Fact or fiction, once you select your major, you cannot change it. Got some mixed responses here so far. So this is actually fiction. So it's not guaranteed to change majors, like especially if you're coming in as, let's say, a social work major and you want to switch to computer engineering. It's not always guaranteed that that will happen, but it's not impossible. So what will happen is that if you want to change your major, and we're not going to talk about this too much, we're going to touch on it more tomorrow, but if you are thinking about changing your major, you are going to want to talk with those advisors because every major is a little bit different. Like when you first applied, how each major had a different eligibility index score. Each major has a different GPA, and some of them have additional courses that they want you to complete to show that you're ready for that major, to show that, excuse me, that you have been preparing for this. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow. And last question here. Fact or fiction? Students can reserve laptops for free or access library computers in the fall. Can you do that? Yeah. So this one is a fact. So even though we are going to be mostly remote for the fall semester, there are still going to be some opportunities for you to utilize our library to be able to, whether that's to come in and reserve a laptop to use for the week, for the semester, whatever that might be, or accessing the internet on campus. For some of you, maybe the internet isn't as accessible where you're at, so you can definitely still be able to utilize that on campus as well. Oh, we have one more question actually. So SJSU has multiple colleges. Fact or fiction? Awesome. This is a fact. So let's talk about this really briefly in our last few minutes here. Oh, we'll skip that. Zoom is not the only platform we're going to be utilizing. We're going to utilize several other resources. As I mentioned, our faculty is going through several classes to help get ready for the fall. So briefly here, we're going to talk about some structure, just to give you some perspective. San Jose State has multiple colleges. So the way I like to think about it is think about it like your high school district. And within that district, there was multiple high schools that you were a student of one of those high schools. But ultimately, you were a school of the Eastside Union High School District. So with San Jose State, we have multiple divisions, multiple branches that we want to make sure that you are familiar with. The main two that you're going to interact with are going to be academic affairs and student affairs. Academic affairs housing all of our colleges, our library, and so forth. And student affairs having everything to do with your student life other than academics. So our cultural centers, financial aid, our office, admissions and outreach, accessible education center. If you need, some tools, some, assisted technology, multiple things that they offer. Now within our academic affairs are our 7 colleges. We do have an 8th college, but you're not really going to interact with it much unless you are studying abroad or you are taking a intersession summer class that's not part of the regular session. Talking about that more in the next couple days though. So each of those colleges houses our majors, houses our departments. And within those departments are the majors, our specific concentrations. So to give you an example, we have our San Jose State, our Division of Academic Affairs, our colleges, departments, majors and minors, concentrations that you are kind of part of, that you go through that whole process of, that you have your major, it belongs to a department, it belongs to a college, to the overall university. It can be a little bit confusing. So to give some examples, we're going to talk about Evelyn. Evelyn is majoring in journalism, but she's not just majoring in journalism. She is a journalism major in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communications in the College of Health and Human Sciences at San Jose State University. A lot to remember, but you do want to know which college you belong to, because that is the College Advising Success Center that you are going to get your academic advising from, that you are going to get that direct assistance with on orientation. So a couple things I want to talk about in our last minute here. So we did run a little bit shorter on time. Our activity that we were going to have, our breakout sessions with our counselors, we're going to resume that tomorrow. That way you have time to meet with your Eastside counselors. What I mean by this is each of us, as I said, we've all volunteered for this program to help you get connected. So we're going to be doing breakout rooms by college. So all of our College of Engineering students together, College of Science together, College of Humanities and Arts, and so forth, with 2 of our counselors or Spartan Eastside Promise team members. So tomorrow they're going to have that chance to reintroduce themselves, go through a couple questions with you, and make sure that you are ready for that next step. If you have any other questions, to go through that process. Now, if you have any questions on which college you belong to, the way that you're going to find that out, Googling is a great way to do that. Typing SJSU followed by your major. So you're going to see a link that pops up that says sjsu.edu/sociology or whatever that might be. Under that, it's going to say something like this. So Child Adolescent Development, San Jose State University, College of Education. That college of is that college that your major belongs to, that you belong to. That is going to be your academic advising center and the breakout groups that we're going to be dividing into tomorrow. So make sure that if you have some time today, you go through that, you check and see what your college is. We have our counselors incredibly excited to be able to meet with you on an individual basis tomorrow and cover what that is going to look like. Now, that shows what this is here. Moving along. To reiterate, almost everything is through our Google Classroom. So you want to make sure you can access that. You click on the coursework, you go to the day, you click the start here to access the daily Zooms, you participate in a session, and you go back to access the homework, the flip grid, the evaluation process. A couple steps here, brought to you by all of us here. Again, our breakout rooms, we are going to resume this tomorrow. That way we have some more time for you to be able to directly interact with the counselors that, excuse me, have signed up to be part of this program, to engage with you, to help you, to be this resource for you, that are incredibly knowledgeable and ready to help you with this next step. So at this time, I'm going to open it up. If there are any other questions, so please put those through the chat. Thank you again for participating in today's session. You will receive an email from me today, follow up this recording, as well as just some reminders for tomorrow's session. And again, tomorrow's session, we're going to talk about academic advising, and you're going to have that chance to be able to talk directly with your college area. All righty, thank you, everybody. And then our counselors, if you could stay on for just a while. Thank you. Okay, so take a couple questions here from the chat. If you are having trouble accessing your SJSU Gmail account, you want to go to one.sjsu.edu, and then on that, all of those tiles, you should see something there that says Gmail. If you don't see it, there is a search bar there that you could be able to type that in and access that. And that's how you can access your SJSU email address. It should open up automatically if you are logged in with your SJSU ID number and your password there. Let me know if you have more questions. Okay. If you took community college classes, so we have one, send transcript to San Jose State. What you're gonna wanna do, most community colleges, they have on their website, you could Google, the name of the community college and then sending transcripts. A lot of them have an electronic way for you to send that, especially right now. So what you can do is you would click there and order that transcript to be sent. Sometimes it's free, sometimes there's a fee, it depends. But you would send that transcript to our SJSU admissions office. That way we can have access to that. Electronically is the quickest way, but you can also order it to be mailed, snail mail, and enter in our mailing address, 1 Washington Square, and that email address is available to you on your MySJSU account as well in your messages section, but electronically is preferred as it is the quickest way. Okay. So if there's any difficulties going on with accessing the sessions, with being able to complete stuff, please just let us know. We are here to support you. We're here to work with you through this process. So definitely want to make sure that you are supported through this entire process. Okay. If you are undeclared, there will be an undeclared group that you meet with tomorrow. It's a great question. Don't access my SJSU. So if you are unable to access your MySJSU, please send me an email directly. I'm going to put my email in the chat for you all and include your SJSU ID number in the email because this will be a technical glitch we would need to fix. So the way that the Google Classroom is set up, it will have to be your SJSU email. Due to security reasons, it does not allow us to use regular Gmail or other domains. So you definitely want to make sure that you can that you log in with that SJSU email. Great question. So college reflection, a reflection on college writing, that is coming up. So this reflection of college writing is required of all of our incoming students at least a week prior to your orientation session. So if your orientation is this week, you can still get it done today. It might not be processed in time, but try and get that done today. It usually takes about 3 hours to complete. If your orientation is, later on, you don't have to do it all in one sitting. You can do it, you can start it and then go back to it over the course of time. But you do want to make sure that you get that completed at least a week prior to your orientation. So for our breakout sessions, you are going to be part of the group that you were admitted to, because with our processing for you to change your majors, you do have to start with where you were admitted, and then you meet with the advisor that you want to switch to afterward. Now, each of those sessions is going to be recorded and posted on our Google Classroom. That way you can go back in and be able to see the session for the major that you do want to switch to, the college that you do want to switch to, and have their direct contact information so you can engage with them and ask those questions of. Yeah, the reason for this, again, we want to make sure that you are following that advisor structure that sets you up to go through the process as smoothly as possible. We have other questions. Any other questions? All right. For those of you that are still with us, if you do have questions, you can always also email me directly. My email is in the chat. Please do include your SJSU ID number. That way we can be able to directly pull up your account and get that information to you as quick as possible. Thanks for joining. Yes, if our counselors can stick around for just a few moments, I want to touch base, debrief. Almost there. I think it's just us now. If someone can quickly scan through and make sure.
Seems appropriate.
Alrighty, so my
There's,
apologies.
there's a student waiting. Should I just remove them?
Yes, please do so.
Yes, thank you. Cool, thank you.